जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे स्मृत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. Dear brother monks, sannyasins, brahmacharis, and who are aspiring to take the vow of brahmacharya in the near future. Your Acharya has mentioned in his speech that various arrangements are being made for giving you the facility to learn the scriptures as well as to mold yourself into the caste of Sri Ramakrishna. This is a period of intensive training under the guidance of your elders in a surrounding which is congenial and free from obstructions. It is for you to get most of the benefit from the situation that you were kept in, but only for 2 years. I know training cannot be completed in 2 years' time, and it is never meant to be so. It is just to give you a taste of the studies which you will have to continue throughout your life, and also a scope for devoting yourself to contemplation, to meditation and spiritual practices in an environment which will be conducive to such lives. But this life for you here is more protected than you will find elsewhere. You will have to be in the midst of people who will be very differently thinking than what you are trained to think. Now that will create a sort of conflict in your mind, but this training is meant to enable you to face such circumstances boldly without losing your own mooring which you have gained here during your studies for these 2 years. It is not merely study that is meant to be provided here. It is a field for building up your life, for training yourselves. Training center does not mean you are trained by others, but it is a facility for training yourselves. There are occasions when you feel your movements are restricted. You feel that sometimes you cannot do as you like in another environment which is free. But this kind of apparently restricted existence is meant to prepare you for the field where such restrictions, such protections are not there. It is meant to be a solid background from where you will be able to face the world fairly and squarely, with boldness, with courage, and with the firm conviction that you will not lose your faith and your stability of personality. That is what the training is meant for. As you know, formerly did not have this kind of facility which are provided now in the training center. We came from our family life, life as students mostly, and came here as raw materials. We had to learn at every step. And there was no training center as such, but it was a constant course of training that we could have under the holy presence of great spiritual giants, the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, with whom we had the privilege of living in close association. Now that was the privilege which now we cannot provide for you. We have to give you just the ideas that prevailed in those days so that you can be familiar with the idea that with which the organization started and which is the principle that keeps the organization united. It is the ideal of Ramakrishna Vivekananda. It is love for Sri Ramakrishna that binds us together. If that love is not kept always fresh and as the guiding force in our life, no amount of training in other respects can take its place, can make the organization well knit together so that different circumstances, however adverse they may be, may not make us diverted from the course. That is what is the most important part of the training that you have to imbibe from your stay in these 2 years. You come from different places with different, being trained in different cultures. Here you are brought together to a place where the instructions, the way of life, the way of thinking is homogeneous, so that you can imbibe that and make it your own as long as you live. That should be their guiding principle. Training center helps that way. They make you all solidified, makes you all closely connected and a closely knit together institution that will last long in your life. As long as you live, you will feel you are a part and parcel of the great order. That is what is necessary for the training center to learn from, to teach you. Now remember that this is only just a period of life, but this period will have to be made fruitful by the way you make use of this training in your later life. As Sri Ramakrishna says, I learn as long as I live. Now that is the spirit. Training is to be continued from your birth in the order right up to the end where your life will be terminated. But the training continues uninterrupted, and that is what is the spirit of the organization. You live only to learn, not within these 2 years. I was reading a book by a Christian missionary who says about the training of their institutions. They give training for 20 years and then if they find the trainees fit, they ordain them as priests so that they may be able to cater to the spiritual needs of the people. So you will be all future teachers. So teachers of mankind, we will have to remember that responsibility that is expected of you. Your training should make you fit for training others, for showing light to others. Now that's a great responsibility, and that cannot be learned only within 2 years. That is never meant to be so. It is just to give you an idea, a sample as it were, according to which you will have to build yourselves. The facility is there, you have to make the best use of it. Now that is what is this training center is meant for. Train you in the ideal that you will be your guiding principle, to train you to live together, to feel for one another, to be just in the organization as a brotherhood, real brotherhood, which will be stronger than the relation among the blood brothers, as has been mentioned already. You will have to be like that. Your organization is the embodiment of Sri Ramakrishna. This organization, as Swamiji tells, this is the body of Sri Ramakrishna. Such a sacred trust is put upon you that you feel yourselves as inseparable parts of this great order. Now this training is meant to make your ideas light so that they will always guide you in your future life. Now you remember that you are next, when you go back to your respective centers, you don't go with the idea that we are trained people, but with the idea that you have learned how to train yourselves. There may be different environments, there may be great difficulties elsewhere, but those we will have to meet and adapt yourself to that, so that you can carry on this fruits of the training right up to the end. Today you are trainees, tomorrow you will be in charge of the training center and training others. Now remember that this is meant only as just a beginning, and so much has to be learned. Now, so I wish you all success in your monastic life, for which you have left your hearth and home. Many of you have already taken the vow, and some those who have not yet taken the vow, they know the vow that to be taken. So that vow will have to be safely carried on right up to the end of your life. These different stages, pre-probationer, probationer, then probationer with training, then brahmachari, then sannyasi. All these are but different stages of the training. Don't think that it is a kind of promotion in life. No, it is not that. The idea is to give you better and better scope for training yourselves and be helpful to others. Because Swamiji's organization is not merely for just our self-culture, but we have to be helpful to others also. Our life's success does not mean merely how far we have imbibed the spiritual ideas, but at the same time, to what extent our life has been able to infuse others in others that great ideal of Ramakrishna Vivekananda. So you get this help so that you can help others. That has to be remembered. So your preparation period is this. And that period, I am sure most of you have enjoyed. At times there might have been some difficulty in your life to adjust this kind of, say, controlled life here. But that was for your being taught to discipline yourselves. The discipline is jarring only when it is imposed from outside. When they are imbibed and when they are imposed by yourselves, they become a period of sadhana and therefore is a part of your spiritual life. So this will be helpful and you remember this, so that right after the end of your existence, you will be a trainee. You will be going on training. And through your life and profession, you will shed that light which you have imbibed from Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, the Holy Mother. Now you are the torch bearers of the organization. Remember that. Wherever you go, you represent the order. As Swami Bhuteshananda used to say, the spirit of Sri Ramakrishna is imbibed by man. When he goes, as he used to say, put a turban, a Garua turban on a stick, and he will go and conquer the whole world. That is the spirit, that confidence, self-confidence, that I Ramakrishna. Therefore, so much is expected of us, and we should feel confident we shall be able to fulfill the expectations of the world. The whole world is looking at you. Perhaps we are not yet aware of it, but actually the Ramakrishna order has got such an attraction that people who understand, they believe there will be a force for the whole, a spiritual force which will transform the whole world. That is Swamiji's idea. He said we should conquer the whole world spiritually. That kind of spirituality is expected of every one of us. Now that has to be remembered, and with the blessings of Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada and Swamiji, I am sure their blessings will not go in vain. We shall be able to imbibe that spirit, and their blessings will be fruitful in every one of us, in every one of you. Go with that confidence to the respective places where you are placed, and try to see that what you are able to give, think of that, not what we have to receive. Your life is a life of renunciation. In brahmacharyas and novices, they have accepted this life of renunciation, the way of giving others, not taking from others. So with that spirit, you be prepared to go to your respective centers and let everybody understand what transformation this training has imbibed in you, has transformed you from what you were. When you go, they will find you better than what you had. Now that is what is expected. Go from progress to progress and be a blessing to mankind. I pray to Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji, that their blessings will make your life completely successful as servants of them, as representatives of the great personalities, as their torch bearers. Thank you.